Hello everybody, my name is Rainy Angel and welcome to my channel, Rainy Angel in Spirit. And what I like to do is have controlled out-of-body experiences and soul travel to the other side by using the AYDA method, which means awaken your dormant abilities. So, woke up about an hour ago and last night I had an out-of-body experience using the method. I'll tell you exactly how it went. It was very interesting. And this time in this experience, I was like on a mission. I was on a mission to figure something out, which before I kind of would just come out of my body and it would be like, I'm just having fun over here. Like whatever I experience is what I experience. But this time I had full intent of doing something and just trying to figure something out. So this process before, like leading up to leaving my body, took quite a while in my experience. So I laid down to go to bed at around 11:30, 11:45, and I did protocol 1, where you stay aware as your body falls asleep. And hold up. Okay, so I did protocol 1. And by the way, this is chamomile and lavender and it's so freaking good. It's my favorite. Okay, so I was doing the method, laying there for about 2 hours. 2 hours. And that's like a bit of a longer stretch for me. Normally, like I feel like it's like an hour and a half, hour 45. It was like going on 2 hours, you know. Anyways, so what I like to do while waiting for my body to shut down is I like to imagine the places I want to go and the places and dimensional spaces I want to access. And a lot of the times when I start to think of something, I'll get just a random vision out of nowhere. Like it'll be just a very clear image. And it was odd because last night I was getting some creepy images. And you know, when that happens, it's all a reflection of you. Like it's all a reflection of your thought process, your beliefs, how you're feeling in that moment. It's not always going to be like doom and gloom. It could be happier. It just depends on your mood, what's been happening in your life, certain events that happen during the day. Sometimes you don't even know where it comes from. And I didn't even really understand where this was coming from. But anyways, the creepy image that popped into my head was of me laying on a bed. It was like my point of view laying on a bed, an old school bed. The walls in the room were all wooden paneled, like brown wooden, dark paneling. And I'm looking out this window. It was just a single square window. And it was black, like just blackness in the window. And I was like, it was just a weird vibe. I don't always like to consider like blackness something scary because it could be a portal to somewhere. But it was just giving a weird vibe. So we're reaching about, I'm thinking in my mind's clock, it's been an hour, you know, and I'm just still laying there. I start imagining the place I want to go to, the library, this library, to access my soul records. And, you know, that goes on. I kind of doze off a little bit, come back to awareness. Then I start to feel, if you guys know and have done this method, you know you get sharp pains in your body. It's your brain sending signals to your body to make sure that you are fully ready to have body shut down. There's a whole science behind it. I'm not going to get into it, but you know what I'm talking about. And I felt these sharp pains going in my arms, like right here and right here. But this one was like a shooting pain. It was like, choo, choo. It was just really weird. I was like, oh my God, just hopefully this doesn't last long, you know, and it could get pretty painful. It's just a natural way of your body getting ready to shut down. So I knew I was getting close to that point. And so I got bored. Like, I don't know, I just got kind of bored and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna lay on my side. Being on my back, I can't always fall asleep like that unless I'm super exhausted. So I turned on my side and just made sure that I stayed aware the whole time because I didn't want to miss this. I knew sleep paralysis was the next step because a lot of the times I'll be doing the AYDA Method Protocol 1 for about an hour, hour and a half. Then I just turn to my side and just relax a little more. And I go instantly into sleep paralysis. So that's what happened. I turned to my side, put my blanket over my head like I normally do, just slept normally. I started to feel the sleep paralysis, and it was very vague, but I was like, I'm not going to lose the awareness here. Like, this is my ticket out. It's like, because when you lose the awareness, you just go to the dream state, and you don't even, you have no control over what's going on. So I suddenly, when I went into sleep paralysis, now remember I told you guys in my last video about sleep paralysis, it was a couple videos ago, where when you're in fear during sleep paralysis, you start to hear all these crazy things, see crazy things, fearful things. And I wouldn't say I was in terrible fear, but I was slightly, like, a little bit fearful. There was a slight fear there. And I heard this screaming in my head. I heard it sounded like a little boy screaming, like nonstop, like nonstop. And then I realized, I'm like, oh my God, that's annoying. Do I have to really hear this the whole time? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, it's my fear. Let me get rid of that. So as soon as I realized that it's just a fearful thing, and I remembered, oh, this is just natural sleep paralysis, and nothing can touch me, nothing can touch my soul, because I'm infinite and powerful, just like all of us are, it instantly stopped. It went away. Okay, so at that point, I'm wondering, I'm like, is it time for me to exit? Can I exit, smoothly from this point? And so, yeah, I did. I exited, and I remember, like, kind of peeking through the blankets, and I was, like, looking for my angel. I was like, angel? Angel? I don't have a name for it yet, but I just call it angel or seraphim or guide. I'm like, angel? Like, looking around the room, I don't see him. And then instantly I remembered, oh yeah, the mirror. I gotta go jump through this mirror. I've mentioned to you guys before that I want to jump through a mirror to access this library or wherever I want to go. A lot of the times when I come out of my body, I notice that I like to crawl or slither on the ground. And that's what I did. I just sort of slithered on the ground, went over to my vanity, and just shot right through the mirror. And it was blackness. I saw this, like, little tinge of blue light, like this really, it's like a dark blue light, like an indigo color, I'd say. It looks like an indigo sort of. And it was all black. I jumped through, and I ended up back in my body, and I'm like, what? Like, I right back on my bed. I'm like, shoot. Well, let me try that again. I get out of my body once again, go right through the mirror, no problem, back into my body. And I'm just like, why does this keep happening? And then I leave my body a third time, and I'm like, I am going to go through this mirror, and I'm going somewhere. Okay, so I go up to the mirror, I crawl out again, I do this lizard crawl thing out of my bed, and I'm looking at the mirror, and I see myself, and I look the same, but I'm just translucent, like a ghostly Rainy, just translucent, same color, same skin color, hair, everything, just translucent. And I'm trying to go through the mirror, and this time I can't go through. I'm like, shoot, like, why can't I go through this? Why can't I go through this mirror? And then something in, like, my inner voice said, calm down, Rainy, just relax, just focus and relax, and you'll go through the mirror. So I'm like tapping on it with my hands. I'm like, why can't I even for a split second thought that I was in my body. I'm like, why can't I get through this mirror? But then I'm like, I'm translucent, so I gotta be out of here. It was, and then so I'm just tapping on the mirror, and then I finally get my hand through, and it's kind of hard, but then I step back and I just jump through again. Once again, end up in my body. So I'm just like, why does this keep happening? Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm going to keep doing it. I think the thing is I have to focus on more of the intent once I get to the mirror, and just have the image in my head of that library, because it was just kind of rushed for me, because I was trying to get away from my body because of the magnetic pull, and I think I was kind of rushing myself. But next time I'm going to come out, I'm going to have a strong intent of going through that mirror to the library. And I know this is possible because I've jumped through a mirror before, and I ended up somewhere else. I ended up in another part of my dimensional space, where I was talking about how I ended up in my friend's house from when I was a teenager. So if you guys have had any experiences with the mirrors outside of your body, let me know. If you guys have jumped through mirrors or heard read anything about it, let me know. Maybe I can apply that to next time I do this. But I'm just going to keep trying and trying. There's also other ways of traveling to different dimensional spaces, realms, and you could just think of it where you want to go, command it, and a portal will open up to you right there. But I'm going to wait a little bit because I like taking baby steps with this. I'm still new and I'm still practicing. I just recently successfully have been exiting my body in different ways. You know, whether it's me falling asleep and my soul exits that way, like just as I fall asleep, or it's I have to wait for sleep paralysis to come in. So yeah, just let me know if you guys have any tips on how to soul travel and navigate through these realms. So also the realness of it, that's another thing I have to work on, because I came out and it felt more real than a dream, but not as real as this life. And that happens to me a lot, and I got to make sure that I get as far enough away from my body and just focus and bring the awareness in, and then jump through the mirror, whatever I got to do to get out of here. Because I really, like I said, I don't really want to be in my dimensional space forever. I don't. And I don't have to be. So yeah, I'm gonna go about my day. Y'all have a good one. Bye.